They said the door was open. Just open. At first, I didn't believe them. Humans open doors all the time, but not that one. That's the one that leads to out there. I looked, I smelled the air. It smelled like adventure, and also like danger, and maybe a little bit like chicken. Anyway, I stepped closer, my tail twitched, my heart raced. They were watching me, my humans, like I was about to land on the moon. And maybe I was. Because for a cat, this isn't the backyard. This is the unknown. Every sound was new. Every leaf that moved was a potential threat or lunch. A bird flew over me. And for a second, I swear I understood the meaning of life. And then it hit me. The ground wasn't the same. It was soft, green, alive. They call it grass. But to me, it looked like nature's trap. What if it eats paws? What if it's wet? What if it's too green? So I did what any brave explorer would do. I stayed on the tiles. From there, I could see everything. The world, the wind, and my humans holding their breath. And I thought, maybe this is how every great adventure starts. With one open door and one very suspicious cat. Stay with me, because what happens next might just surprise you. So there I was, still standing on my little island of safety, the tiles. Behind me, my home. In front of me, the wilderness. The humans call it the backyard. But to me, it looked more like the beginning of another universe. I could feel the wind brushing my ears, like soft, mysterious, carrying messages from places I had never seen. Somewhere far away. Maybe another cat was walking through the same wind. Maybe they were thinking about me too. I smelled something. Grass, dirt, maybe a squirrel, or was that danger? Hard to tell. I crouched down, low and silent, like a shadow with whiskers. My instincts were waking up. Every muscle was ready. Every sense alert. And then, rustle. The sound of a leaf. I froze. The wind moved it again. I realized it wasn't a monster. It was just nature doing its weird thing. Humans don't get this. They walk outside like they own the world. They don't stop to smell every inch of it, to listen, to feel. But me? I'm a cat. I study the world one sniff at a time. I started moving step by careful step, my paws touching the edge of the tiles, right where the grass begins. I reached out, stretched my paw. Nope. Too weird. Retreat. Immediate retreat. I'm brave, but not that brave. The humans laughed. They thought it was cute. But I wasn't trying to be funny. I was analyzing terrain. They have no idea how serious this mission is, and still, I couldn't stop thinking about that smell, that feeling, that curiosity pulling me forward. You see, that's the thing about being a cat. We pretend not to care. But curiosity always wins. Always. So I sat there, tail flicking, pretending to be calm. But inside, my brain was screaming, "Go on, Coco!" One more step, one small step for cat kind. Stay with me. Because what I did next changed everything. All right, enough thinking, enough smelling, enough pretending to be brave. It was time. I leaned forward, eyes wide, whiskers trembling like antennas tuned to another dimension. The grass waved in front of me, green and shiny, like it was saying, "Come on, Coco, step into the unknown." So I did it. I lifted my paw, slow motion, like in one of those epic movie scenes, and I placed it on the grass, and cold, wet, soft, but not in a good way. It felt like the ground was breathing. I jumped back instantly. What kind of sorcery was that? The humans call it nature, but I call it suspicious flooring. They started laughing again. Apparently, my panic is comedy to them. They said things like, "Oh, Coco doesn't like the grass." No, humans. Coco doesn't trust the grass. Big difference. I gave it another look. Maybe I overreacted? So I tried again. This time, 2 paws. And for a second, I felt powerful. Like a wild cat, a panther, a lion, king of the backyard. The wind hit my face. The sun was behind me. My tail stood tall. I was meant for this. Born for adventure, forged for greatness. And then the grass moved again. I swear it tickled me, right under the paw. And my bravery? Gone. Instantly deleted from existence. I jumped back onto the tiles so fast that even the Flash would have been impressed. The humans called me dramatic, but I call it tactical retreat. You know, humans think they're the only ones with instincts, but out there on that battlefield of green danger, I realized something. Instincts aren't fear. They're wisdom in disguise. Sometimes when the world feels strange or uncomfortable, maybe it's not weakness to step back. Maybe it's just your inner voice saying, "Not today, hero." The grass can wait. So I sat down again, safe on my island of tiles, and looked at that field of mystery. We stared at each other, me and the grass. Enemies? Maybe. But deep down, I knew this wasn't over. Because I'm Coco, and curiosity always gets me in the end. Stay tuned, because next time, you might just see me win. After the Great Grass Incident of 2025, I took a break. A long, deep, soul-searching kind of break. I sat on the warm tiles, tail curled like a question mark, watching the humans walk on the grass like it was nothing. How do they do that? Are their feet made of magic? Or are they just crazy? But then, something changed. A little breeze passed by. Soft, warm, kind of playful. It touched my face like a whisper saying, "Come on, Coco, it's not that bad." So I looked around. Birds singing, clouds moving. The sky was so big it almost made me dizzy. And suddenly my fear felt smaller. I took one paw forward, then another. I sniffed a flower. It smelled like something between socks and heaven. Not bad. I saw a bug. It looked at me. I looked at it. For a second, we both froze, like two warriors respecting each other's power. Then it flew away. Good choice, bug. Step by step, I started exploring. The air, the light, the sounds, everything was new and somehow familiar. I realized I'd been scared of something I never really knew. And that's when it hit me. Maybe that's what fear really is. Not the thing itself, but what we imagine about it. Humans do the same, don't they? You see something new, a change, a risk, a dream, and your brain goes, nope. Danger. Stay on the tiles. But if you dare to take one step forward, you might find that the grass isn't so bad after all. Sure, it's cold. It tickles. Sometimes it even hides bugs with bad manners, but it's also where life feels bigger. I looked back at the door, my safe zone, then at the open world ahead of me. And I thought, if I go back inside, I'll be comfortable. If I stay here, I'll be alive. So I stayed. Because even though I'm just a hairless cat with attitude, I know one thing for sure. Every adventure begins with a single paw. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to take it. So if you're watching this and there's something in your life that feels scary, a change, a dream, a leap, remember me. Remember Coco, the cat who feared the grass and then made it his kingdom. Now, excuse me, I think I just heard a butterfly. And apparently, I'm a hunter now. You know, when I think about it, this day wasn't really about the grass. It was about courage, about curiosity, about trusting your paws even when the ground feels strange. Because the world outside, it's not always comfortable. It's windy, unpredictable, full of noises you can't control. But if you never step out, you'll never know what the wind actually feels like. Humans say curiosity killed the cat. But trust me, without curiosity, life would be just naps and food. Okay, naps and food are great. But adventure? Adventure is what makes you purr inside. So yeah, I was scared of the grass, and then the grass became my teacher. It taught me that freedom isn't about where you are, it's about what you dare to feel. If you like this little journey, stick around. There's still so much world for me to explore, and who knows? Maybe next time I'll even climb a tree. Or maybe not. I'm Coco, the cat who fears nothing except vacuum cleaners.